Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Is it TikTok going? Good morning. How is everybody doing? I hope amazing. I hope great. Um, it's Today we're talking about something interesting. We'll continue our conversation about the relationship, and today we'll talk about what information not to share with man in general, with man that you date, even if he's your husband, do not share it. Now, maybe you have some information that you will add. Maybe, but there is something that I missed. I would love to hear it. But I collected this according to my experience and according from what I hear from my clients, my friends, and I will tell you which ones did I do the mistake of sharing and which ones. Um, yeah, I like some of my clients did. So anyways, we're talking today about the information that you don't share with the man, and I hope it will I will explain you why you shouldn't share this particular information with any kind of man. Some information you shouldn't be sharing with anybody at all. And as I said, I observe a lot of couples, a lot of people, and a lot of times their relationship become so kind of swampy because they do share way too much, more than it's ever needed. Now, don't take me wrong. I used to be a person who loved to share the information. Since I have a lot of energy of water, I'm very feminine. So because I'm so feminine, I truly enjoy. I always thought, I used to be clingy like that. So I always was like, okay, so if we're a couple now, I have to tell him everything. And I would want him to tell me everything. And if he doesn't, I would get like all upset. But it was a mistake, and I will tell you exactly what was the mistake that I was doing. So, if you think that because you're with the man, you need to share everything, you are mistaken. Again, remember, as a self-sufficient woman, you have four roles. And with the man, you connect only on one role, so only on 25%. 25% of your life, that's all a man is entitled and interested in knowing, not more. If you will start telling him your whole life story, he wouldn't. I mean, he might be interested if he's bored at this moment, but he doesn't really need that. And you don't need all his kind of problems and his story. So only 25%. This is a healthy amount of sharing with your man. So 25%, you are 25% connecting with him, 25% sharing information with him. And I will tell you what not to share. So this would be healthy. If you think that this is not healthy, this is healthy. This is how our grandparents, our even parents lived. I doubt our grandmothers and mothers were sharing the info that we share right now with everybody around us. So this is healthy. Now, let me get my notes. Also, remember, so I always believed in transparency. Always, I always thought, as you know, I'm not like a very private person. I mean, I don't have no secrets to hide, so I'm okay with sharing. But remember, when you're meeting a man, he doesn't know anything. So your words and your information that you're given about yourself is very much you creating a perception of you in his mind. So if you will start with some kind of problems that you have in your life, I mean, this is what he will think, that you are problematic, maybe a little negative person. According to systematic approach to life, all your conversation with the man should be somewhat flirty, somewhat sexual, because you're connecting on this. You're connecting to develop as a man and a woman. You're not connecting to develop as two friends. You're not connecting to develop as the mother or the therapist and her client. You're developing as a man and a woman, not anyhow else. So all your conversation should be somewhat flirty, somewhat connecting to two of you, not to anything else. All right, so let's get to that list that I have. Again, if you have something to add, do add. But starting from number one, and I think this is the most important, number of your partners, and overall anything that concerned your intimacy with your ex-partners. And if you think, I do want to be honest with my man, I want him to know everything, he doesn't want to know this. You know why? Because men are very ego driven. They need validation. So unknowingly he will always compare himself to the partners that you had. And if you will tell him in details how good the other partners were, how bad they were, he will unconsciously constantly compare himself to those men, or whoever, to women, to whoever you have. So this is something that you never share, you know. I used to, there was a saying when I was little, if your partner is not the first, then he's always the second. Don't share how many partners you have, don't share how it was, don't share none of this, you know. You shouldn't be sharing this information even with your, I don't know, with your friends. I mean, I don't even share this information with myself, not with anybody. So if a man is persistent, you see what he needs. He needs a validation when he's asking you, well, you know, how many men did you have or anything? I mean, get almost like offended and like, and tell him, you know, don't ask me such questions. This, it's not even relevant, you know. I like, just imagine if he will say, even women, they are not ego driven, and if a man will tell you, well, I had these two women, they were super beautiful. I mean, unknowingly you will always compare yourself to him. But for men it's even worse because they're so ego driven. So that conversation needs to stop, you know, like right. Doesn't, don't even continue it. If a man is like, well, am I your best partner or something, just cut it right there. Like, you're the best right now, or you're the best, you know, for the next 5 minutes or whatever, for the next year. The never ever, for no, you know, like I had men and they would go into, and this was feminine weak man, they would go into great lengths to get this information out of me. One even grabbed me so I could share with him. He bought me perfume a long time ago, like I don't know, maybe almost 20 years ago, just to get the information, and I still didn't tell him everything. What I want to say is that this info you should never share with nobody. Don't share it with nobody. Again, it is a perception of you in people's minds, you know. And depending on the culture you're in, that perception could be, you know, like I don't really judge anybody, but people could be judged, and you could be, a man could say something, so many, you had so many men, and you would be like, "Oh, maybe I did had so many men." So this conversation should never be brought up. There is only two people in any kind of relationship, and that person is you and him. In a relationship with you and your child, it's you and the child. Don't bring anybody else from the past, from the future, into this relationship. Only you and your man, and that's it. Don't discuss this kind of information with nobody ever, ever again. Don't do these mistakes. I see it from my clients, I see it from my friends. I did this mistake myself, you know. And I will tell you, one time this guy that I was seeing, I mean, he went like really crazy. I guess he, I don't know. I never knew that he was taking something, but either he smoked something or he took something, and he went crazy. He couldn't sleep, so he went on my phone, and my phone really is, you know, unlocked. It's not like anybody can look at it. And he basically started looking at the messages that were sent to me like 7 years ago in Messenger on Facebook. I like 7 or 8 years, and he found some message that was maybe a little compromising 7 years before he even appeared in my life. And he woke me up. He like come up with this huge like scene again, because I did a mistake of sharing with him that I had prior. You know, obviously I have everybody knows this. I mean, I'm not I'm not 20 years old. It would be weird if I didn't have nobody, but men don't need to know the details and anything else. Get absolutely upset, you know. I love this movie I watched once, and the woman there, she said, "Are you trying to be jealous because I don't like this kind of like like low vibes?" Something like that, she said, and I really loved it, you know. And so, if a man is trying to get this kind of info from you, just cut it short and get almost like upset. All right. So the second one, I think it's pretty understandable that you don't share your experience, your intimacy with nobody at all. The second one is you never share how badly you were treated before. Never, even if you were, you never share this. All your men are amazing, and they always treated you the best. I always thought if I tell my man how badly I was treated, he will treat me better because he will kind of feel sorry for me, and he will finally will become my prince charming. Okay, this doesn't happen in real life. This only happens in those romance books that were written by women who were maybe not very happy. So if you tell a man that, like I used to say, nobody ever bought me a present, even though they used to. I don't know why I used to say this. And then the man is like, oh, okay, so nobody ever bought you a present, so he never buys me presents now. And then I need to fight for it, and I need to beg for it, and then finally he will buy me a present or something. But never ever say nothing. Never say, like I had this, she was not a client, but I kind of knew her a little bit, and she used to She was in this victim kind of mode. And I don't have too many women in my life like this, but she was in my life. And basically this is what was happening with her. She would tell all her men, oh, I was dating an abusive manipulator, something like all these new terms. And he would always shout and manipulate me. And then miraculously, all the other men suddenly became these abusive manipulators. And I told her, listen, these are the patterns you're going through, in the same pattern again and again and again. You don't need to tell this to your man. You need to heal yourself. But if you tell your man that you were dating a manipulator, they become manipulators as well. You see, a man follows the pattern that you tell them to follow. If you will tell a man, oh, I always were treated so amazingly, man always buy me flowers, this is a non-negotiable, man will be like, okay, if I will stay with her, I need to buy her flowers, otherwise she wouldn't be with me. You see, so you putting kind of you telling him how you deserve to be treated. So tell him how it is, even if you were treated badly. Do not say, do not, unless it's a mentor or therapist, don't share this information with nobody at all. Or police, I mean, if it was that bad. But don't share with the next man that comes into your life. He will not feel sorry for you. I'm telling you, I checked it so many times. I was in the victim mode so often. And the next man that comes in and he's so in love with me, he's so enamored by me, and I'm like, and I feel so comfortable. And I tell him, my ex, he was so bad, even though I never really had a really bad exes. And he was like, oh, really? Okay. And then a week after, he started becoming bad and worse and worse and worse. So again, don't share this. All your men were always good, always generous, always amazing. Remember, you were with them for a reason. What was that reason? Remember, like, why you with them. So don't share that. Don't think that a man will listen to you and will suddenly start treating you as a princess. No, he will not. I will tell you, I checked that actually once. I had a friend coming in, and I live in Miami, so he wanted to stay with me. And I told him, look, my place is not a hostel. It's not like you can. And a man has money, so I tell him there are Airbnbs like close by to me. You can rent it there. And he's like, what about your other friends when they come? I'm like, you know what? When my other friends come, they not only stay at the Airbnbs, they usually stay at the hotel, and then they treat me to go to a spa in that hotel, and then they bring presents. So when he came, he was like, he booked the spa for me. And then he ordered me flowers and this and that, and he was taking me everywhere. Again, because I put the standard. I told him he wanted to match the friends that were coming to visit me. He is not even my man. He was just a friend from New York. So this is what it is. Do not ever share how badly you were treated by anybody, by a man, by life, by work, by anything. You only telling your man what are you used to, and he will do that. So this is a non-negotiable. You never share it. The third one is, and you know what? I'm guilty of pretty much all of this. The third one is your traumas, and you think that's a good thing. You will share the trauma. The man will know that it's traumatic event for you, and he will never do this. Like I have a couple things that are irritating for me. I don't know why, and I never shared them because one time I did told the man that every time he was mad with me, he would start doing that. Why? Because he knew that this was my kind of my weak point. So you never ever share your traumas with your man. Share it with me. If I'm your mentor, share it with your other mentors or your therapist. Worst case scenario, share it with your friends, but not with your man, because this will be his weapon. Right now, when you shared with him your trauma, you gave him a knife. And anytime he's mad with you, or he's upset, especially if he's a weak man, he will use that knife straight in your back very, very fast. And you know what? I saw it so many times. So many times you couldn't even imagine. So do not ever say anything. Do not share any kind of problems, anything that ever irritates you. If you're afraid of snakes, don't say that you're afraid of snakes, because if he will want to do something bad for you, he will throw a snake in your bed or something, even if it's just a small little kind of harmless snake. So don't do that. I actually knew a couple, and the girl was super afraid of spiders, and she knew that. And the guy, he got so upset with her. I don't know why. And he basically he brought home spiders. They were small. It was not like some kind of huge poisonous spiders, but they were small. And she was shouting and screaming. she had to go. She had to call the ambulance and go to ER because of the panic that she had. So don't do that. These are, all your phobias, your traumas, anything that your weaknesses. Do not speak about that. You, as I said, you given the weapon to a man. Don't say it to anybody. Don't share it with your kids. Don't share it. You can only share it with somebody who can help you heal from it. That's it. Who is impartial to your life and who can help you with the, with somehow healing it. Your therapist, your mentor, somebody who has nothing to do with your life. Anybody else, they will use it. As soon as something goes wrong, they will use it right away. So and I did this myself. I never really had such like traumatic experiences, thanks God, in my life, but I did couple unfortunate experiences. And as soon as there's some kind of argument comes up, they would throw it straight into my face. So don't share it. As comfortable as you are with your man, keep this to yourself, keep it to somebody else, and don't ask him about his traumas. You don't need to know that either. All right, so from here we're going to the next one, and the next one is your green and red flags. When I was traveling, I was on a dating site, and a lot of men write this opening move: tell me your green and red flags. And I'm like, this is crazy, because this is almost like the traumas. So now I will tell you my green and red flags, and you will be pretending to be my green flag. I mean, that doesn't make no sense. So I would usually answer something like: a man who asks for green and red flags is a huge red flag. Which is, these are usually weak feminine men who are not very confident in themselves. So they're trying to kind of test the waters. Let me find out what kind of what is good for her, what is bad for her, and then I will use that to my advantage. So never ever answer those questions, laugh it off somehow. I mean, turn it into something, flirt somehow with the man, but don't give him no red and the green flags. This is information you keep to yourself, and then if he doesn't if he doesn't act accordingly, then he will find out that these are red or green flags in your life. This don't ever say or make a joke out of it or something. If the guy, I don't know, if the guy will write, what is your green flags? Write him: a man who gives me gifts is a green flag. Something beneficial to you. Red flags, don't, because that's exactly what he will pretend not to do. So don't ask him also. I mean, you don't need to know. Get to know a person slowly. From here, the next one is: don't share your desired relationship. This is very important, and this is controversial because, as I told you in the video, how to get married fast, you need to let the people know about that you are dating to get married. But very often, man will use it to their advantage. So if I will tell him I'm looking to get married, he will be playing along and will be like, yes, I'm looking to get married too. I've been single for so long. I'm so ready to get married. And he can string you along for so long, and you're like, yeah, the guy wants to get married. So I think it's coming. It's coming. I knew a girl who was dating like this for 7 years, and I don't think the guy was purposefully manipulating her, but I think they started like this. I even remember when she started dating him, and she's like, I think he's the one, because we're both looking for the same thing. I'm looking for a family, and he wants to get a family. 7 years, and they still didn't get married. So what I want to say is that don't share something like this. You can say, well, I'm just meeting people, or I'm looking something on a more serious side, something. So basically, don't let a man, don't give him information that he can play you. Or if you will tell that, no, I'm just looking for fun, and he'll be like, oh, me too. And then this is also, this happened to one of my ex co-workers. So she was looking for fun. The guy was looking for fun, but secretly he wanted more. So he was pretending he was using condoms, and I guess he wasn't using. So I don't know. Long story short, she got pregnant. And then he's like, well, let's get married. And she didn't want to get married because this is not what she was looking for, honestly. And she didn't like him that much. She was only using him for, I guess, for fun. But he wanted to be with her. So they got married. They had that child. And then 2 years after, they got divorced. And he's still in her life, still trying to kind of to manage and to be there. All right. So this is another one. So don't tell any kind of your future, like what you want to do, like what are you looking for in the relationship. He will Man, usually they plan that, and I see it very often. I see it. I mean, I have clients who are looking for, and they're like, Anastasia, I'm telling him honestly, and he's like, and he agrees with me, but then he's, it's like he's not ready, and he's telling, well, I'm not ready yet, let's wait a little bit, let's date a little bit, let's do this, let's do, until like when. So anyways, this is another one. I actually had a story. I was dating somebody for almost 5 years on and off, and I didn't want to get married. It was not in my plans, but he was telling all the time, well, we're already both grown up. He was like a couple of years older than me. We're both like, I think he wanted me to commit to him, so he's like, he always used to play this card, we need to think about marriage, we need to. So little by little I started considering him. I'm like, yeah, seems like a serious guy with serious businesses, I should. But in fact, he was just talking about marriage. He married somebody else as soon as we kind of broke up. He married somebody from his culture and his religion. So, anyways, what I want to say, somebody who his mom vowed for him. So, but again, he was putting it into me, feeding me, and then suddenly not. So again, don't go for that. Have your own mind, have your own plans, and don't share your plans with nobody. Tell a man, usually a self-sufficient woman will do that anyways. Tell him, look, I'm just meeting people, let's see what will happen. Let's see how good it can get. So maybe it can grow into something bigger. All right. So that's another one. The next one. Um, this is also a little controversial, but I will share with you as somebody who maybe have a little this issue. So what you shouldn't be sharing with the man is your health issues. Why? I don't really, thankfully, I'm a pretty healthy person, but there are things that I don't eat, I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol, I don't into caffeine, not much. I don't eat meat, I don't eat dairy. In United States, I don't eat bread. So there is a lot of things that but I tend not to share this information with pretty much anybody. I mean, what's the point? Like, except for the alcohol, because when somebody's inviting me for cocktails, I mean, I don't drink alcohol, and I don't want to drink those mocktails all the time because all they have is sugar, really. They're not even that tasty. So anyways, you can't really go for cocktails and drink tea. It would be look very weird. So this is the only thing that I say. The rest, I mean, I don't share. Every restaurant has some kind of vegetarian food, or maybe fish or seafood. So but why shouldn't you share this with your man? Well, first of all, because masculine man and men in general, they don't really need to get problems on their hands. They look at women as more like an inspiration, something optimistic, something light, pleasure. They don't want to get another problem on their hands and then and drag it along. It's one thing when you guys are together for some time, and then suddenly you have some kind of problems. Then it's maybe understandable. A man a very selfish kind of, so maybe he will kind of chip in and help you a little bit. Again, mostly he probably will give you money to kind of hire somebody who helps you. But when he starts dating, I mean, everybody wants to have a vibrant, young, healthy woman. Nobody wants to have problems on his hands. I wouldn't want to date a man who has issues, health issues and problems. I mean, why would I? Honestly, it doesn't make no sense. So do not share none of that, because look, if I can tell a man, okay, I don't need this, I mean, he will be like, oh my God, now I could not take you out to eat. I mean, she will have this, she will have problems with everything. Look, I don't even say nothing like that. I mean, I can find something to eat in pretty much every restaurant. Every restaurant catered to any kind of problems. I mean, I'm not like seriously super allergic, so I would be fine. But don't do that. Don't share. Don't tell them. Oh, I have what is that called? ADHD or something, like when you couldn't sit still, or oh, I have issues with my knees or something. I mean, nobody wants to date a person who is falling apart. Like really, who cares about your health issues? I mean, you shouldn't even be focusing on that so much. I mean, focus on getting better, but don't focus to the point that you need to share it with others. Don't share it to your friends. Don't share it with your. I mean, people get old like this. They start talking about health, and then suddenly they have no interest in anything else in life. I think my TikTok is just stuck. Why? No internet. So Anyways, this is another one that you shouldn't share your house. Now, and you think, well, this is important. He needs to know. Look, he's not marrying you right now. So unless you guys are planning to have a kid, and you know that you could not have kids, even though it's very doubtful, don't share. I mean, deal with your problems on your own. Let him deal with your problems. Look, if you have a man and that man is constantly like, oh, I have a headache, I have this, I have this health issues. I mean, tell him to deal with it on his own. There are health professionals that can help him. You are not one of those. You don't need to be catering to him. Usually, people who are stuck with sick partners are usually people who need to be useful, who earn love like this, so they're useful to their partner. So their partner kind of appreciates them and love them. I noticed that usually those people have issues with parents. They usually also take care of their parents, take care of their children, just to be useful to somebody. So don't do that. Don't share your health information with nobody again. A masculine man will not even date you simply because he doesn't need these problems. A feminine man will be somewhat burdened by this. So don't bother with that. Don't even start. All right. So the next one is your family problems. I'm talking about the family problems with your immediate family. Now, why? Because a man will use that as a reason to manipulate you. So I would add here not only family problems, but also friends problems, problems at your work, your colleagues, your problems with your colleagues. Now, that happened to me. I actually met my second husband on vacation. I was on vacation with my mom and my sister. And so since we were like together, I mean, obviously we had agreements and disagreements, as all normal people do, but we were very close family. And he observed that, and so he started kind of playing on that little by little, putting into my head, that, oh, you do it so much for your family, are they appreciating like this? So he snuck onto me like this. I started having even more problems with my family when he became this hero. The guy was very weak and very feminine, and he knew how to kind of get into my good side. So again, don't share. This is what happens with this feminine man. They make you distancing from your family, from your friends, just so you will spend more time with him. So don't. You fought with your friend. It's none of his business. Remember, in a relationship there is only two people, you and your friend. Your partner has nothing to do with that. The same with you shouldn't be really involved in his family and his kind of and his friends. That's his business and his kind of life. You have problems with your mom or with your father, don't share it. Remember, your parents are your roots. A man is just a kind of an additional person that came here to develop you. You can have a lot of men, but your parents are the only ones that you will have ever. These are the only roots you will ever have. So don't share. Whatever your relationship with your parents are, it's only yours. You need to heal them, but healing them doesn't mean sharing with him what is good or what is bad when it comes to your family. You can come to me and talk to me about your family. We will heal them. But if you talk to your man will take your side, and so he will little by little will kind of manipulate you into maybe not liking your family that much. And I saw it. I have a client. I had don't have a client no more. This one particular, she's happily happily married, thanks God. But when she came to me, she had this very weak feminine man, and what he was doing, I don't know whether he was feminine or masculine, but he was acting very feminine. So what he was doing, she was very close to her mother, and what he was doing, he was manipulating her into believing that her mother is a little too much, that she's controlling her too much, that she's this and this and this. So she started looking at her mom differently, and she started distancing herself. Yes, maybe there was a kind of an opportunity to kind of to separate from her mom. Yes, I absolutely agree with that, but not in this kind of way. At one point, she stopped talking to her mother and was spending all her time with this guy. I mean, this is obviously not right. She should have a relationship with her mom, a healthy relationship, and the relationship with the man. So right now, this is what she has. When she came to me, we healed the relationship with the mom, healthily separate her from it, and eventually she found a man, and they're married. So what I want to say is that don't share. A man, especially a weak man, will use this information that you're sharing just like the traumas that you're sharing, as a knife, and as a weapon that he can use against you at any moment. So don't do that. You think that he needs to know. He doesn't need to know. He doesn't. You don't need to know that he's fighting with his mom all the time, because he will take your side. He likes you, not your family. You will take his side all the time, but you're not sure what's going on in the family. Me and I don't know, my sister, my brother, we might go back and forth with each other, but I love my brother and my sister very much. If there would be a choice between my brother, my sister, and a man, well, I don't know who's going to win. So that's why it's important not to even get that another person involved. So there won't be this kind of situations where you need to choose between your siblings or your man, or between your parents and your man. Again, remember this. Don't share this information. This information is not for only for you, and maybe for your therapist or your mentor or somebody who who help you like that. That's it. So this information is out of question. Don't share don't share any relationship problems with anybody you have. So if you have, I don't know, if your boss is kind of a jerk, don't share that either. Like, because at one point you will be fully isolated. It will be like only your man is so good. Everybody else is bad, but it's not true. Not the everybody is not bad. Everybody is, people are nice for the most part. So, anyways, that's another one. Okay, the next one is, so also in family problems and don't share the problems that your family has. This is also important. So if your parents are going through divorce, I mean, just say it like this. Okay, my parents are divorcing. Don't tell him, oh, my father used to cheat on my mom, or my mom used to be this bad. This is the information you shouldn't be. Remember, you always look in the strength. So re-emphasize the strengths of your family, because next time you guys are going to be arguing, and he will say, yeah, but your father was cheating on your mom, so I guess there was a reason, so now I can cheat on you. Never ever bring that up. Or for example, if you will tell, oh, my friend is going through a breakup, because of something, he can bring it up too. So don't share the relationship with your family, with your friends, but also don't share their problems and the problems that you might have with them. Like, that information is out of, like, keep it between those two people. That's it. Nobody else. Again, you connecting only on 25%. So anything else outside of that 25%, your man doesn't need to know. He doesn't need to know, unless, I mean, I wouldn't even share it. Since I stopped sharing anything about my friends, it became so much clear. I remember I had this guy, and he would be like, oh, how was your friend? It was really funny. So I had this friend, and I would drag her around everywhere. So I started seeing this guy. We were not dating, but he had interest in me. So they were from the same culture. I'm outsider, right? So, but he liked me. And so I would drag her along here and there for a couple of dates. And then he would start asking, well, how is, that girl? I'm like, oh, she's fine. So one day he called me. He's like, let's go to dinner. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, why don't you ask her to come with us? So eventually, somehow, they exchanged the phone numbers while I was there, and they went on a couple of dates. But then he realized she's not exactly what she portrayed, and he wanted to get back to me. But what I want to say is that do not involve other people into your life. Do not bring them up. I don't say that you shouldn't be introducing to your friend. Just introduce them as as you would introduce to your parents. Here's my mom, my dad. Here's my man. Here's my friend. Here's my man. Just don't involve them in the relationship that you have between them. Yes, your man will have relationship with your parents, but it will be his relationship with them, not whatever you put in him towards them. So like that. Okay. So the next one is, don't tell your fears. So your fears. Um, Again, just like your traumas, that filter aren't helping the accent. Oh, but I'm not trying to hide my accent. I think it's cute. And there is no filter. Okay, so the next one is your fears. So don't fears are like traumas. It's basically a weapon that a weapon that a man can use. So anybody can use. and then why are you listening? So, anyways, you don't share your fears. Again, the fears I'm talking about are not the fear of spiders. I'm talking about the fears like, oh, what if you leave me? How I'm going to be by myself? Or what if I will lose this? And then what will I do? Or what if you will? What if you will fall in love with somebody else? I mean, I won't be able to survive. It's stuff like this, you see, and this is exactly what will make you what will make a man what will make a man manipulating you, you see. So don't put those fears, because those fears are also a weapon in any man's hand, in your man's hand. So again, if you have some kind of fears like this, come and work with me, or come and work with your mentor or your therapist or somebody, but don't tell the man those fears. If you are like afraid that your man will stop loving you because you will get pregnant, you will get a little chubby, don't tell him that. This is exactly what he is going to look for. If you're afraid that your man is going to that your man is going to fall in love with somebody else, or like your friends more or something, I mean, this don't install these thoughts in his mind. You know, you're supposed to be self-sufficient, confident woman, and this is exactly what he likes about you. Do not put anything. And I'm talking about not necessarily only fears about their relationship, but fear about overall your life. Like, for example, what if I lose my job? What I'm going to do about that? Look, everybody has some kind of insecurities, some kind of fears, some kind of problems in life. Nobody really wants to be burdened with somebody else's problems and fears as well. So um, uh, uh, nah, I think I'll stay here. So, anyways, but this is, and it's exactly what you're not sharing with the man. You shouldn't be sharing this with anybody, because nobody wants an extra burden. This is the same as the health problems. You know, people don't really want to have to deal with your health issues. They don't want to deal with your fears. All those insecurities, keep them to yourself. Work with them. Obviously, you need to get rid of them. So, work with somebody. Somebody, again, a man is not your parent, and he's not your therapist. So work with somebody who's qualified to help you with that, and who is and who can really help you and not use it against you again as a manipulation. All right, so that's the next one. Your fears, again, do not, especially when it comes to fears about the relationship. You know, it's like you telling him in advance. You know, fear has a lot of is a very energetically charged, so you don't need this kind of if you will tell him, I'm afraid that you will leave me, fears a lot of it holds a lot of energy. So the guy will start thinking about this. He will start thinking, yeah, maybe I will at one point. You don't need that, obviously. All right, so the next one is you shouldn't be sharing your income. I think I was even thinking, should I put it in? Should I not put it in? But I did. Your income, you shouldn't be sharing with nobody at all. Not only with your man, but anybody. I mean, your money is your money, and this is your energy. You shouldn't be sharing it with me. As a person who was very kind of transparent, I used to tell everybody how much I was making, until I started to make more than it was comfortable for me, and then I start um, uh, kind of uh, uh, kind of slowing down on sharing. Now, why shouldn't you be sharing your income with your man? And you will tell, well, Anastasia, what if we're married? We should combine the income. No, you shouldn't combine the income. The happiest couples that I see, that I meet, the happiest I was with man myself is when I didn't when I didn't tell him at all how much I make. A masculine man really only wants to know that you are satisfied with your life, that you are doing something, that he doesn't really care whether you're making money or not. A feminine man might use it against you. So, with a masculine man, if you will tell him, I made this much this month, he will feel like you're competing with him. A feminine man might think, well, if you're making that much, then maybe I shouldn't be working at all. Like it happened to me a long time ago. I was dating somebody and we wanted to move in together. I already lived by myself in a beautiful big apartment. And so we were considering either to move together into my apartment or to move maybe to another apartment. I told him, but he was not making that much money. I told him, how are you going to pay for this apartment? My apartment was pricey. And he's like, well, you're already paying for your apartment. Why do I need to pay? So you see, it backfired on me. The guy, and realized that I'm making money. That maybe he just wanted to live there for free. He thought that it was absolutely normal. You see, if I would not tell him how much I was making, he would never even have this assumption. He would be looking how to make money to get us back to get us living together. So again, and I think that was the end of our relationship. As soon as he said that, I mean, he was done with me. I wasn't looking to adopt a child. I was looking to be with the man, not a little baby. Anyways, but again, income you shouldn't be sharing with nobody. As I said, pretty much all my friends right now are in a happy relationship. All my clients too. Nobody ever shares. The happy relationship are the ones that are not sharing their incomes. So yes, if you are together and you have a household and maybe you have kids, maybe you can kind of have a joint account where a man puts money and you kind of spend, or you put a little bit, he puts a little bit, but you should keep some money to yourself. What will something goes down, something goes wrong? I mean, remember, one foot out of the door all the time. So how are you going to have one foot out of the door if all the money are combined? And since I worked in the finance industry for so long, I saw these stories. I saw it. I remember one time when I was just starting, I had this client, and she was just staying there, like outside, waiting for us to open. And I was like, "What is she doing here so early? She would never come. Like she used to come in the afternoon all the time." So she's like, "Oh my God, something happened. I need to empty the account." So she basically closed the account and took all the money. She got a joint account with her husband. Half an hour after, her husband came, and with the same story. Something happened. I need to close the account. And when I told him, "Your wife was just here and she already did that," he was so mad. I mean, they fought and they separated, and she was the first one to grab all the cash. So obviously, we didn't give her the cash; we give her a bank check. But the point is that in situations like this, I mean, then they went through divorce and everything. But the point is that you should have your own money. A man has no kind of claim on your money. You can chip in somewhat, but for the most part, a masculine man will never really care how much you make, or if you make anything, as long as you are happy and you keep yourself busy. So, but income really, any kind of this money, your investments, anything, you shouldn't be sharing. This is not really for anybody. This is for you and you alone. You should have your own kind of stash. Definitely don't voluntarily try to give him the money to do something in his life. Definitely no. Your money is your money. A normal masculine man, he will know that you have money, and he will kind of like that for you. He knows that you're protected, that if something happens, you will have a little bit or a lot or somewhat. Honestly, I didn't see a man who was like a strong masculine man who would be against his wife having some kind of cash. And in many traditional cultures, if you know, it's normal for a woman to have some kind of saving account or gold or something to keep her safe just in case something happens. So this is something you shouldn't be sharing. These are your money. And I had a few clients who were having an investment account without their husbands knowing. I think their husbands knew, but I mean, it was not like a joint kind of venture. It was their own money, their own kind of, and they were doing really good, but they kept it to themselves. And I know that one had her kids as a beneficiary, so not even her husband. Those money were for her kids, and she was really, like really taking care of that by herself. So, but this information should be shared with anybody, especially with man. Honestly, a masculine man will think that you're competing with him. A feminine man will use it against you. Like I saw feminine men like this. I saw how they are. If he's weak, he's like, "Well, you're making money. Why should I make so much? Well, we can live on your salary while I'm trying to establish a career for myself. Or your salary is enough while I'm trying to pursue my artistic kind of look. A man is a man. Let him be a man and then do whatever he wants, but he needs to kind of to provide in the family." So that's what it is. Your income is your income. And I even knew and I mentored a couple big bloggers, and their man were, I mean, as bad as it sounds, a freeloader. So they basically were supporting their man. So again, I mean, it's up to you. you can do what you want, but I would rather you don't. If you want to have like a really healthy relationship, don't share your income with your man. He doesn't need to know. I mean, men are not stupid. They can see how much approximately you're making, but I mean, don't throw it into his face, and don't try to brag with it, and don't try to overcompensate. Like me, I used to, in one relationship, I was very vulnerable. And I used to tell him, "Oh, I have such a good credit. If you ever need help, like taking a car loan, my God, what I was thinking about, I can always put it on my name." I was earning love. You see, it was not normal. I was trying to overcompensate. I thought I was not enough, so I was trying to be super helpful for him to kind of to get ahead in life, and obviously it was not correct. All right. So the next one that you shouldn't be sharing is your plans. And I'm not talking about the plans for the relationship, but your plans for your whole life. Why? First of all, because your life is your life. He's only a small part in that life, and he can stay in your life or he could not, but your life needs to go on. I am in this Facebook group. There's like female travelers or something, and I love to read posts there. And a lot of girls over there, they're writing. They're like, "I so much want to go to travel, but my significant other doesn't want to go." And everybody's like, "Go, go! This is your life. You will regret it." And I completely agree with that, because your life is your life. Your man's life is your man's life. I mean, he needs to develop his life. You need to develop yourself. You can't really be depending on him, or depending on like this is not, it's absolutely not right. So again, you connecting on 25%, the rest 75% is your life, and you could not stop your life just because you have a man right now. And I did a couple times. They didn't exactly stop my life, but I did some kind of I almost like betrayed myself a few times just because I was with the man now. I have to kind of to make different kind of decisions, and it was bad. A man didn't appreciate it, and I was basically betraying myself. So again, do not do this. If you will share your plans, then a man will kind of know what to play with. It's like often, I remember on when I was on dating site, the guy was like, "Can I have your phone number?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure," because I'm not really into this. So he would take the phone number and then text me like a month later. You see, it's like he knows my plans, that I'm already interested. He put me on kind of on the shelf to text me when he's bored. And I was like, "What? I didn't even know that this thing is happening." So now, well, now I'm not on dating sites, but after that, I was like, I basically didn't give my phone number to nobody. I'm like, "Let's meet first, then maybe I'll give you a phone number." Like, what's the point? I don't need my phone number to be a collection here and there. So, anyways, don't tell your plans. If your plans is to travel the world, go on with your plans. If a man really likes you, he will go with you, and or he will offer you something to change your plans. Like for example, he can say, "Well, why don't we kind of start a family, and then I promise you every year we will go on like 3 vacations, we will visit 3 countries," or something like that. So this way you're not betraying yourself, and he knows that it's important for you, but yet he will be challenged to stay in your life, and he will continue kind of contributing to that life. So like this, again, sharing your plans with absolute stranger. I mean, maybe it's not even. And again, the strongest relationship that I had were the ones that I didn't really share. And the man that were that in my life at that time, they really appreciated. They appreciated that I had my own life, that I had my own kind of aspirations, my own plans, and I wouldn't I wouldn't negotiate those plans. Those plans was set in stone. Like I remember I was dating this guy and I loved him very much, and I told him I'm going to Spain with my mother and my sister, and he's like, you know, I wouldn't mind to come too. And I'm like, "No, this is a family trip. I don't see my sister that often. I obviously didn't see my mom, so I wanted to spend time with them. We can go with you after if you want, but as of right now, this is my." And he was absolutely fine, because I have my life. I can't just stop it for just because he's in my in just because he's appeared now and he's in my life. So again, with time, if you are having a family, obviously some certain kind of aspects of your life will have to change a little bit, but do not change completely just because you are with the man. Like for example, I had a friend who left her career to be a housewife to with her man. she believed that it would be better. He wanted to have a housewife, he wanted to have a lot of kids, but they couldn't have kids. So she was super bored, sitting at home all the time. And eventually she went back to, to her work. She loved her work. So, and he had to kind of to accept it, because otherwise she would go crazy. That would have to She was ready to divorce him just so she can again have her life back. So again, don't share your plans. Live your life as you're planning it right now. If a man really likes you, he will either offer you something to substitute those plans, or he will go along with them. So, and this is how it is. Again, do not do not share and do not change your plans for anybody. All right, and the last one again, I guess for this one, and let me know if I miss anything, but the last one for this video is your insecurities. Now I'm talking about insecurities like, for example, you might think I might think that my hair is too light or too dark, and I believe that it's a shortcoming. But maybe for somebody, this hair color is perfect. Maybe they think it's the most amazing. Oh, I have freckles, as you can see. So I have a lot of men that write to me, "Oh my God, I love your freckles. I love your freckles." But there were times when I was really embarrassed of my freckles, especially when I was little. I used to put cucumber, lemon. I mean, what I didn't put on my face just to get rid of the freckles. And my freckles usually come out in the sun, so it's in the winter. Like if I'm in a colder climate, I don't see that much. But anyways, I even had a client who would paint her own just for herself freckles, because she loved my freckles so much. So again, do not share your insecurities. You only put it in your man's head. Like for example, I have a friend. I still have her. She's amazing. And at one point, she gained weight. I don't know. She had some issues at work, and she started, eating a little more. And she would. So she has a man, and she started telling my man never really ever once commented on her figure ever. Even when she gained weight, he never really said nothing. But then she started kind of. It became an insecurity for her, so she started telling him, and she's like, "Oh my God, I gained so much weight. I'm this, I'm that, do you see it? I mean, it's so uncomfortable." So she was just speaking out this insecurity that she had. And the man, obviously, he started looking. He maybe never noticed that her arms became a little chubbier. But now he is looking, because she is telling him, "Look at my arms." And he started paying attention, and he started telling. So when they go out, he would be like, "Are you sure you need to eat the dessert?" Because so she's back in her shape, even better shape. She's very like toned and everything. But even now, when she's in the perfect shape and she's so toned and everything, when they go out and he's like, "Are you sure you want to have a dessert?" How do I know? Because she shared it with me, and it's interesting. So don't put any kind of insecurities. You think your eyes are too small. It's maybe this is exactly what he loves. Maybe he loves you kind of your cute eyes. So maybe you think that you're not tall enough. Maybe this is exactly what he went for. Maybe he likes petite women. Or maybe you feel like you're not that guy. Maybe you feel like you are not very outspoken, or not very very literate or something. I mean, maybe this is exactly what people like about you. And so don't. The insecurities is something you don't share. This is like a tremors and fears you put in basically as a slow weapon. A man will always remember this, and he will always be saying, maybe you will tell him, "Since I was a child, I struggled with, I don't know, which you can struggle with snoring." Let's imagine, and this is your insecurity. So the man will always make fun. "Oh, you know what? You were snoring today." So it's an insecurity, but for him, it's kind of fun. So again, don't put it into your man. Don't tell him he shouldn't be known, and you don't even need to. You don't need to share. All right, that's it. Let me know if I missed something. If you have questions, ask. But let me just sum it up really fast, and and tell me what do you do in this list. Again, as I said, with your man, you only sharing 25% of the information in your life. You connecting only on 25%, and based on that, I'm giving you what you shouldn't be sharing. Technically, you shouldn't be sharing none of this with anybody. Maybe with your therapist, maybe with your mentor, with somebody who can help you really, who can help you overcome that. Sharing it with regular person, who is close to you, is like giving them a weapon. If you share it with something like this with your parents, they either will see strength in your weakness. They will feel sorry for you. If you will tell your friends, they will be like, oh yeah, I know, me too. I mean, they will sympathize, but they will also, it's also weakness. So you need to share with somebody who can make that weakness your strength. And definitely that wouldn't be your man, again, because your man is not your parent and not your therapist. All right, so really fast, things that you shouldn't be sharing with the man is number of your partners. Never ever, don't share any kind of intimate the details about the intimacy. Don't, even if a man will say no, I don't care, like I will never bring it up again, he will remember, and he will bring it up again, and he will compare himself all the time to those people. He will search them online and he will find them and he will continue comparing. So don't do that. Don't do it for yourself, don't do it for him, don't do it for your relationship. Remember, in the relationship there is only two people. So keep only two people. Don't bring the phantoms of the past into your relationship. The second one is never share how badly you were treated before by anybody, especially by a man, because you telling a man right now, you're giving him a pattern of how you're supposed to be treated. If nobody ever bought you flowers, he will be like, why am I supposed to be the one who start buying? Nobody ever bought you. It's kind of strange. So you basically telling him already that he shouldn't be buying you something, or you telling a man, um, hmm, I was cooking for a man every single day and he never appreciated me. The guy will be like, oh, so she was cooking for the other man. Now I assume she's supposed to cook for me as well, like this. So all your men before were great, and I can prove you that they were great, otherwise you wouldn't be with them. And they were all treating you amazing. Even if they were not, you tell that they were treating you amazing and buying you and spoiling you and giving you gifts and everything. Then you don't share your traumas, obviously, because you're giving a knife into your man's hand and he might use it anytime he feel weak, anytime he feel like he needs to hurt you, he will use it. So your traumas are only your traumas. It's between you and your mentor, or between you and your therapist, or between you and you. Don't obviously tell your green and red flags because he will use it. You will tell him, I don't. My red flag is emotional, unavailable man. So he will send you like a paragraph of how emotional he is. I mean, again, the man will just use the information to his advantage. Don't share your desired relationship. Don't share what you're looking for in a relationship, because again, he will play on that. He will tell you. You will tell him, "I'm ready to be a mom," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to be a father too. Here is the list of the names already picked up, and then he will be telling you that, and then he will tell you, oh, but you know what, I will get this career promotion, then I can be a father. Or then, it's like he will be stringing you along and using you based on the information you will give him. Again, be mindful of that. Don't share your health issues simply because nobody wants to have a sickly creature on their hands. I mean, and you will be like, oh, Anastasia, but this is so mean and unempathetic. Okay, but this is the reality. I don't want a sickly creature on my hands. Honestly, I understand, and I'm an empathetic feminine woman. I only understand how an egocentric, kind of selfish masculine man, how he feels. He probably feels like, oh my god, I don't even need this stuff in my life. A man wants a woman who's light, a fairy, a light, healthy, optimistic, can eat, can party, and can stay slender. At least give him the illusion that you are like that if you want to have that man. Again, you don't have to lie, but don't burden him with all your problems. If you have high blood pressure and you have gut problems and this and this, I mean, look. Maybe share it with your primary doctor. I mean, he doesn't need to know all of this. All right. So again, you see, like, look at yourself. I mean, what would you tolerate? I wouldn't tolerate if a man was telling me his health problems. One time I went on a date with the guy, and he was like telling me some kind of everybody in my family had some. I don't even remember what it was. I was like, what? It was such a turn off. I was like done that minute. If I wouldn't feel sorry for him at that moment, I would just leave. He's lucky I'm empathetic. The next one is your family problems. So don't share your family problems at all, and problems in your families. Don't share your friends and the problems that they have. Obviously, he will use all this info to manipulate you, to kind of to isolate you from everybody, and then you will be like, oh, he's the only good one, and then he will leave you, because who needs a person who is all by themselves, depending on him for everything? So don't share. Your family is your family. These are your roots. Your brothers and sisters, as bad or good they are, they your brothers and sisters, not his. So obviously have particular kind of respect towards them, and that's it. All right. So the next one is, don't share your fears. Your fears are only yours. Again, a man will only use it to manipulate you if he will decide to. Fears like, what if you will not like me if I get if I gain some weight? So next time you're eating something, he will be like, you know what? I think you're gaining weight. So he will play on your fears all the time. It's not right. I mean, I understand that it's not right for a man to do that, but you gave him that info. Like, who asked you for that, anyways? Then the next one, don't share your income. That's, I think, pretty self-explanatory. Everybody says this. Don't share it with nobody. A masculine man will think that you are competing with him. Nobody wants that. That a masculine man once told me. He's basically like, he told me, I was very proud of myself. I was promoted, so I was making, I was added a good chunk of money, and I was really feeling great. So I was always bringing it up, like in every conversation. I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe I should go on vacation now that I'm making more money, or what do you want for your birthday present? I always was bringing this up somehow. And he told me, he's like, listen, this is not the, it's not interesting. You always talk about money. And he was a masculine man. Now a weak man would be like, here's a list of presents for me. So again, money is it's a masculine energy. Don't bring it in masculine setting. I mean, unless only you asking a man for money, that's different. Now the next one is your plans for life. He's only a part of your life, so don't stop living your life. Don't stop with everything just because he appeared now on the horizon and he's promising you some kind of future. Again, that future is like in my culture they say, written with the fork on the water. It's like, it could be, could not be. I mean, it's just his words at this moment. If he likes you, he will go along with. I actually had a colleague. She came from Albania, and she had like a high school sweetheart, I guess. And he came. So she came here, and she came because she wants green card, I think. So she was working and everything, and he came somehow through the border or something just to be with her. You see. So again, and he became very successful. Right now, she's not even working because he's supporting them. If a man likes you, a man will, will come to you, will become part of your plans instead of. Now, if she would stay there, maybe she would never forgive herself for not coming to, to United States. This is one example. Another example, I knew two Cubans. They're also school sweethearts. So the guy, he left. He has family here, so I'm not sure how it's working between Cuba and United States. I assume they can somehow move around. So he left because he had a family here, but he told her he will be back, and she's like, I don't really know what I want. So not like this. He wanted to go, and he wanted her to come with him, and she's like, I don't want to go somewhere where there is nothing, there's nothing ready for me. And he's like, okay, I will be back for you. She started dating somebody else because she obviously she didn't stop her life for him. And he found a job. He bought an apartment here. How do I know? I was visiting. I was with somebody visiting. I was there for barbecue, and he did everything, and then he couldn't go back to Cuba. I don't know why, but he asked or paid. I'm not sure, somebody to help you to come here. He hired the lawyers and everybody, and they are now living here. Again, when a man likes you, he's not going to kind of interfere in your plans. He will become your plan. So do not tell him your plans in hopes that he will become. Just live your life. And the last one is your insecurities. If you feel like your body is not perfect, don't tell this to your man. Maybe this is exactly what he likes. Maybe he likes your imperfections. Maybe he likes that you have freckles, or that your hair is short, or that your hair is light and not brown, or something like that. So don't allow him to be Don't allow him to look at you with your eyes, with your critical eyes. You see, you looking at yourself and you're like, no, maybe I'm not that beautiful. And he's looking, he sees a princess, so he is like really, really in love with you. So let him see it. I mean, he will feel your insecurities anyways, but at least don't put it in words. So like this. All right. Let me know if I missed anything. I'm sure I did, but I was speaking from my experience, from what I see from my clients, from my friends, from my obviously life. Maybe I missed something. Let me know. Let other ladies know. I'm sure they will appreciate. All right, that's it. If there are no questions, we're going to go enjoy Sunday. Listen, on this Thursday, I don't know whether you saw it or not. I put a video on gratitude. So five interesting ways I use gratitude. Please do watch it. It's amazing, inspiring. I already watched it twice, my own video, but it's really great. It reminds me right now the time is between two eclipses. So you might be a little kind of off, maybe feeling a little down, maybe to have some kind of doubt because it's Virgo Pisces kind of line. But use gratitude to allow yourself to go through this time, to feel better, to kind of to feel great. And let me know, maybe you use gratitude particular ways. I always welcome new information. All right, and let me know if you have any kind of ideas for the future. For the future videos, I would gladly go through them. All right, let me glance really fast on TikTok here. What do we have? Mhm. All right, that's it then. Thank you, TikTok, for your participation and for your support. Thank you, YouTube, for that too. Bye, everybody on TikTok. For you who is on YouTube, I do hope you watch my TikTok videos. Every day I put a video there, shorter one. So if you want, you can watch them there. Usually it's the information that I share here, but sometimes not. So if you want, you can watch it there. Also, if you want to add yourself to the Facebook group, I put announcements there. And if you have questions, ask me them there too. We can brainstorm them all together. It's only for ladies, so obviously no man is going to sneak in and read our answers. All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate. Please do like, comment, um, share these videos with others. Let me know the information that I maybe missed, and I will see you next Sunday at 11 a.m. Bye, everybody. Enjoy Sunday.